Hey, what's up, folks? How we doing tonight? Yes, open mic night tonight. Everybody's here. We're ready to rock and roll. How's everyone doing?
Doing great. How you
Good.
doing?
Wonderful.
Doing good. Doing
Doing
good.
great. Looking at some film.
I'm wishing my team would ever win a game on Sunday. Oh wait, we can only beat the Colts and the Patriots.
You
Can I
had
throw?
him against Green Bay. That was a good game, though, dude.
Except we ran on a freaking wide receivers.
Thank you,
Can I
Melissa.
throw four?
Thank you so much.
Can I throw four words out there and get everybody's response?
Yes.
Always.
Candy corn Dr. Pepper.
Trifling.
That's nasty.
Disgusting.
I'd have to try it.
Yeah,
Candy
Melissa
corn.
said
It's not like
We already said congratulations on that, Melissa. I don't know why that's doing that.
yeah. Yeah,
All
man.
right. Well, Melissa, I guess
was
Melissa's
big.
let off the show here with our opening topic. I guess. Yes. Evan, that was a good game on Sunday. I'm sure you were. I was a
Ecstatic.
lot more excited. You had a guy that could throw the ball deep. I'm sure that helped, even though you talked good on Deshaun Watson. The rest of the world does not. Um, but you finally have a gunslinger in there, and he's way more scarier.
And you got a hype man in Jameis Winston. Yeah, he throw a lot of interceptions? Yes, but the dude's a ultimate hype man. He's a motivator when it comes to firing up his teams.
So the two things that I noticed out of my offense that I'm going to speak on earlier were two things that I spoke for Deshaun Watson against Kevin Stefanski or Ken Dorsey, and that was the fact that what I was that the offensive line was doing trash. But what I realized in having DTR in the game or having Jameis Winston against the Ravens was it's not that our offensive line was struggling. It was more of the fact that Deshaun didn't have a pocket presence looking at that tape versus looking at this past weekend. And then there was there was just the fact that we finally got Jedrick Wills out the way and put DeJuan Jones on the left side. Now, I will say he didn't face anybody. Most of their defensive linemen got hurt in the first quarter, but we've already seen what he looks like against the TJ Watt. We've seen what he looks like against the Bosa. We've seen what he looks like against these other top tier guys. So if putting him on the left side is something that they're going to be consistent in, I think that we might have found and fixed that issue. Um, I was very excited to see Cedric Tillman, Elijah Moore, and Jerry Judy all get the ball and essentially start running routes like, okay, the ball could get here.
I think that's a result of you guys trading Cooper to us because now it allows you these younger guys and more to actually gain chemistry now.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, but I also think it has more to do with the fact that Jameis Winston was the number one quarterback in training camp because Deshaun was still recovering from his injury. So you're looking at a quarterback who worked with these guys all off season, all of training camp, and then most of the preseason because Deshaun would only play in the preseason games. Now have
Like you
the helm
said,
behind the quarterback.
Evan, like you said to Matt, all they got to do now is just hold the fort, get some wins at the end of the year, and then hopefully, like I said, you reset in the off season and you just keep drafting well, and you might get there. We'll see.
I think we need to, as far as the Browns go, need to focus more on the schedule because if we look at it, we have the Chargers. I think that's a win. We have a bye week, and then we have the Saints, the Steelers, the Broncos, and the Steelers again, and that's week 14. Um, I think we split with the Steelers, and that's just being fair. I think we split. And New Orleans has some injuries, and that's also a That's also a revenge game for Jameis. So I think those we can at least by week 12 be looking at a different picture here. Do I think we make the playoffs? No. I'm saying that now, not because you asked, but because I want anybody who watches this show later on to know that there, although we can fight for a better record, I don't see us making the playoffs unless somebody catastrophic falls apart.
Like I said, I think you had the you had the cult you had the culture in place. Now it's just about also having the culture of being able to draft well year after year. And I think you guys have the foundation to be able to create that culture of drafting well.
I think so. I think Andrew Berry gets an unfair draft report because we got to think about it. His first year here, he doesn't draft. That was a Dorsey thing. Then the next year they draft Jedrick Wills, which would have been his first draft. You get Jedrick Wills. You get what was that? Newsom and no, Newsom was in the first round, so that was the year after that. So 2 years of drafting, and then you trade your picks for 3 years in a row. And we're drafting only in the second and third round, and last year was our first second round pick. So I think we really get to see what his drafting ability is now that we have these picks, and now that the whole Watson thing is out of the window. So there's no more uh, we can't draft because we're picking at the end of day 2, beginning of day 3. And before we go on, I do have a question for everybody on the panel, but I want to save it to the end because I know it's going to get us off topic.
Okay. I put a side question in, guys, if you guys want to give me a head nod on that. Like I said, my phone's acting up, so I can't do it. But I did put a side question on. Anyway, Joe, Jamie, I did
I'll
not
do it.
catch it.
I'm on it.
So, I guess we'll wait for Melissa. Are you setting her one?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. What's the scores, real quick, Dylan? While we're
5-2
5-2.
Yankees.
Well, just to let everyone know the Dodgers are running with a bullpen tonight, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, why wouldn't they? All right, 3-0 lead. Now I said Dodgers in 7 before the series. I'm sticking with that. I think the Yankees make a run and take it to 7, and the Dodgers win it in 7.
Wow. I said Yankees in 7 at the beginning, and I was thoroughly blown away when the Dodgers got up 3-0. I got sweeping the first two games. That happens all the time. First 2 games at home, okay, no big deal. Then they come in last night. But by the way, this just in, breaking news: Freddie Freeman is pretty good at baseball. I mean, the guy has been good his whole career. There's no denying that. But holy cow, he should get hurt more often.
Right?
He's playing like, the greatest player of all time right now. He's not just hitting bombs. He's playing great at first, considering he can't walk. He's the MVP of the World
Does
Series right now.
anybody?
How many more games it goes?
I will say, I did talk to Jason last night for almost an hour during the game, and we both agreed that Freddie Freeman, if it ends now, Freddie Freeman should definitely be the MVP.
It won't even be a question.
Yeah. Anybody
Oh,
get
yeah.
any Kirk Gibson flashbacks during that first game?
1000%.
I was thinking.
I saw that Gibby one live.
I was
You were
thinking the
there?
same thing. Like Kurt Gibson moment right here.
Yeah.
No,
That
I
was
wasn't there,
against
but
the,
that was
against the
that was my
Oakland
senior high
A's
school.
though too.
It was.
I
That's
watched
Dennis
that.
Eckersley.
It was still a Dodgers moment where they had flashbacks, and that's what it was. Like left-hander coming up, just does something totally unexpected. Not unexpected. Freddie Freeman is known to hit the long ball, but
Well, and he did groove him one right down the heart of the plate. I mean,
Mhm.
you don't throw that pitch to Freddie Freeman, whether it's game 2 of the game 1 of the World Series or game 73 of the regular season. You don't throw that pitch to Freddie Freeman.
Unless you're
You
John
don't
Smoltz.
walk Mookie Betts either to let that
Unless you're
happen.
John Smoltz and you do it to Jeff Bagwell. Then later on in the playoffs, you throw him 3 different
Dodgers
completely
just hit a solo home run. It's 5-3.
Okay. What inning is it?
Was it Freddie Freeman?
Tommy Edman?
No, what? It,
Oh,
no, it
Smith?
was Will Smith.
That's your baby.
There's another one that's been hot through the whole playoffs. Tommy Edmonds been hot the whole playoffs.
Yep. Yeah, he killed the Mets.
How big of a pickup was that? How big of a pickup was that at the trade deadline?
Yeah, yeah, boss man, you're gonna have nightmares of Tommy Edman for the next few years, right?
Yes.
Is Will Smith the lowest regarded cleanup hitter in baseball?
He's in an 8th tonight.
No.
Okay, but 95% of the games that he's been in this season, he's been their cleanup guy.
Yeah, and he played great in the regular season. He's just
I
been
was gonna
horrible
say,
in the
I read
playoffs.
him a lot in DFS, so he's not unexpected by me.
Right. He hasn't
know,
played
maybe
well
you
in the playoffs. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, you look at all the guys that hit 4th in Major League Baseball. Will Smith probably doesn't have the panache that a lot of the guys would have, like a Stanton or like a
Alonso.
Yeah. He just hits. He just plays. He drives in runs. He's not going to hit 50 bombs. He's just not. But he sure as heck does really well driving in runs, especially when you got those first 3 guys in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it a little easier to do it, though.
Oh, definitely. I mean, when that's easily the best first 3 in baseball. I mean, there's no argument on that one.
Oh no, don't walk Edman in front of Otani. That's mistake number 1.
Yeah. I think I told Jason last night. I go, Jay, this might be a sweep, and
Well,
I hope it is. F the Yankees.
do not be surprised if there is an AC joint a procedure coming for Otani.
Yeah, Melissa, I'm just waiting for it wasn't a Subway Series. Mets Yankees would have been missable in Jersey.
did she not get the invite?
I sent it to her on Facebook and Twitter.
She said she's been dealing with being unwell.
She texted me and said, "Can I come on?"
Just took heel out.
Uh-oh.
Just the cousin of former Ranger shortstop Benji Gill is spelled the exact same way.
So does that mean the nephew of Al Leiter's coming into the game next?
No, Tim Hill's coming in right now.
Oh yeah, well, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
The Yankees need a lefty.
No, but I'll tell you what, Al Leiter's kid is going to be starting for the Rangers next year. I can tell you that much.
Jack Leiter.
I can tell you their rotation right now, unless something goes completely haywire. I can tell you their starting rotation right this second. And we're 6 months to opening day.
Jacob deGrom, Jack Leiter,
Kumar Rocker, Corey Bradford, Nathan Eovaldi. That's your starting 5.
It's a good starting 5.
A really good starting 5. And Cody Bradford will become a name next year.
If he
stays healthy. If Cody Bradford stays healthy, he will become a name next year because he is, he's not a flamethrower. He's a lefty. He throws strikes. He doesn't walk people, but he's a good young pitcher. I watched him play at Baylor, and man, he has taken what he did at Baylor and just gone through the moon with it.
Wow. Did he pitch for the? How much did he pitch for the Rangers this year?
He pitched. I think he had like 12 or 13 starts. He was down for a while with a back in. No, it wasn't a back injury. It was a hamstring, I think.
Oh,
Okay.
Flat. That's what it was. But he had. Let's see. Yeah, he had some nice numbers for when he was out there. He went 6-3 with a 3.5 ERA. He pitched 14 games.
Okay.
76 innings, 70 strikeouts. And 70 strikeouts, 13 walks.
Okay.
hey, Melissa, can you hear us?
Yep.
How about your 49ers third quarter against the Cowboys? Boy, you made Jerry Jones be his pants, right?
Oh my goodness. Just grateful they won. I
How about
I watched
about
it. It
them
was a wild game.
I really thought for a while they were going to just let the Cowboys completely troll them, like the Steelers rolled over for the Cowboys at the end. Like it was ugly. I was nervous, and I've not been nervous for a Cowboys game. And I want to say 2020 was the last one during the COVID year. But they pulled it off, and George Kittle had his big day on National Tight End Day. So I'm grateful for that.
Is Kittle your guy, Melissa? I mean, if you had to take one guy, is Kittle your guy?
That's hard. I have so many guys that I've died hard for. I've been a Kittle supporter. I've been a Deommodore Lenoir supporter. I've stood up for other fullbacks over Kyle Juszczyk, which has got me ridiculed a lot. I'm a big supporter of Jair Brown, who's from Trenton, New Jersey. If I had to pick one guy, I think because I've been kind of like alone on an island for him the whole time. It's Jawan Jennings. I've been like day one Jawan Jennings. And I've gotten bullied over him. I've been like ridiculed to the point where I couldn't even show up in chats because if I even said hello to someone like in a chat, I didn't even mention anything, just said hello to someone that I knew, I could like the whole show would stop and I'd get bullied over him. So if I had to pick someone, I guess I would go with Jawan Jennings, but Kittle's definitely one of my guys. Actually, I love late round guys that have great stories. Like I don't understand how people just don't love late round guys that turn into like an immense treasure for your team.
David Njoku.
I love David Njoku for years, Evan. I fought Brown fans about David Njoku when they said he was trash. And you know what the funny part was?
Looking at.
You know what the funny part was? They hated on him back when you guys had Landry and Beckham. And they were like, just get him gone. And I'm like, you do realize like how special this guy is going to be? And now like that they pretend like they were David Njoku fans all along. And I'm like, I remember.
Right. The sad part is that most people don't, especially Browns fans, didn't realize how he made it so much easier for Landry and Odell.
But it's not just like that.
They really didn't understand it.
I think it's the same thing with Bills fans. Like, I don't think people really truly appreciated Dawson Knox for years. And now it's like, I think it's harder for them too, because now, you know, you guys have Kincaid, and Kincaid's been like a rookie superstar, like from the get-go, like with Sam Laporta. You guys like were competing for who had the better rookie tight end.
Tight ends, that's all we got.
Yeah.
I was always a Knox guy.
And I really
will be Kyle Pitts by the end of the season.
I really think that Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce kind of ruined tight ends for a lot of people. They just think that they have to be these ultra first down machines, touchdown machines, and nothing else. And That's why I think a lot of people don't appreciate George Kittle or Pat Fryermuth or these other tight ends because all they see is, well, you're not doing what Travis Kelce's doing. You're not doing what Gronk did. You're not doing what Tony Gonzalez did. And I think the good thing that's come out of TEU is that tight ends are being appreciated for everything they have to do now. They're not just like big ass receivers the way that people saw them. So
they're more athletic now, tight ends.
Mhm.
And I love the community with tight end U because I think they're really like a brotherhood. They're like a fraternity. They care about each other. Like they fight hard against each other when they're playing each other. But I think they genuinely just want to see each other succeed. And I don't think you really have that anywhere else in the league. There's no malice. They all try to teach each other, learn from each other, see how the other player learns and sees things and how they run routes and disguises and how they use their shoulder movement and how they break through blocks. And I think it's just, it's really a treasure time to be a fan. If you love this position, to see them just rock across the league.
Now,
So
I've got a question. Did all the tight ends fall off because Sunday was National Tight End Day?
you know what? I really think they did. To be honest, I know a couple years ago it was funny because Jimmy Garoppolo made a random comment when he was sucking in 2018 about it being a National Tight End Day, and that's how this whole thing kind of got started. He made like some random comment and it went viral on one of those mic'd up things. And then George Kittle loved the position so much, and this is when he broke the record on the same day that Gronkowski and Kelsey set the same record of most yards in a season for a tight end at the end of 2018 versus the Rams. So then that next year, him and Olsen and Kelsey and the rest of them kind of got together, and then they decided to create this national holiday on the last Sunday of October. And so the guys were kind of like treating it like a joke back then. Like they weren't knowing who started it, why they started it, why the tight ends were all being mic'd up. But now they've all fully embraced it. And I think it's really remarkable that you get to see them all just not be out there and be mic'd up, but they're also really enjoying it and trying to prove something with this. Especially with other players saying, like, well, why isn't there a defensive line day or offensive line day or a linebacker day? Like, I think it's really, really nice to see something like that. Like, you don't have to be a fan of any particular team or player to enjoy that.
I mean, what would we do without a Kittle, a Kelsey, or Sullivan King, Trey McBride? I mean, we all try to draft these guys.
I mean, I think it's just nice. I really love Sam Laporta. I just love tight ends in general. So,
hey, Melissa, the first year I played fantasy football was 2009, and that year I drafted all Colts. I drafted Manny, Reggie Wayne, Dallas Clark, and CJ2K was my running back.
Oh, that's cool.
That was
Dallas Clark was at the last one, right? The last tight end year that they shared the video from YouTube.
Well, yeah, Dallas Clark went to Iowa. That's where all the good tight ends go.
You mean aside from the year where Tim Tebow threw a hissy fit because he wasn't invited?
All right.
So, I'm not sure everybody heard the news today, but the Indianapolis Colts have benched second-year quarterback Anthony Richardson, and Joe Flacco will be starting for the Colts this Sunday night at Minnesota.
He was tired, man.
They should have did that at the beginning of the year.
Maybe
No,
the Browns,
I'm not saying that. Wait, I'm not saying that to like be funny or to like hate on Anthony Richardson, because I feel like in the right system, we looking at a better version of Cam Newton. I really like his talent, but he was coming off a major injury, and all these rookie quarterbacks are coming in and not really, in my opinion, are not really doing that well. You bring in a guy who fits your offense, who's a veteran, who can learn from, and let him learn. And then if you're out of it by week 8, which essentially you guys are anyway, then you start him.
I'm just
But that's
surprised
just
that,
me.
because Richardson got hurt for a couple of games, didn't he? And Flacco played pretty well. I'm surprised. I would have thought they'd keep Flacco in until either he faltered or until he got hurt or something. I'm a little surprised they brought Richardson back when they did.
Well, to be honest, I think we're seeing something with some of these young quarterbacks either bench or not perform well. You look at Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Bryce Young. Trey Lance really bombed out in San Francisco. Why the Cowboys gave a 4th-round pick for him is beyond me. But it seems like owners
But
now
that goes
don't have
back to
any.
the.
But
No, go ahead,
owners
Dylan.
don't have any patience now.
Mm-hmm.
And part of Anthony Richardson's problem is he
Richardson
didn't
got
get a
benched
chance to play.
Anthony Richardson got benched because he came out of the game after saying he was tired.
Probably.
He didn't get benched because he sucked. He got benched because he did something dumb.
I mean, 44% completion percentage. Not good.
Go ahead, Rich. What were you saying?
It's the lowest of any quarterback for the last 10 years. But here's something for you to look at, okay? These young guys that everybody's talking about, what do Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Will Levis, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, and Kenny Pickett all have in common?
They're all first-round picks, usually.
They're all under
culture,
26.
except for Kenny Pickett.
They're all under 26, and they're all benched. So you've got those guys. Now, granted, the flip side of that is that you've got your Jaden Daniels and your C.J. Strouds and your Bo Nix and your, Brock Purdy's and guys like that. I get that. But, it goes back to that thing of taking a quarterback is a coin flip. They're either going to succeed or they're going to bomb, and there's no gray area.
Mm-hmm.
But
Bo Nix has found a good rhythm lately.
Well, I mean, he's got
wait,
that works for him.
Pick me. Ooh, wait, pick me.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I got a question. Specifically, I want to hear from everybody, but this is specific to what Rich was talking about. How many of those guys, excluding C.J. Stroud and Brock Purdy, played more than 3 seasons as a starter?
Well, Purdy played 4 years at Iowa
Caleb
State.
didn't.
Anthony Richardson played like 12, 13 games.
Right, but that's my point. We look at that's the other side of it. We look at all these quarterbacks that are coming in and are highly touted. They played 2, maybe one solid year, yet alone actually having like real time to be on the field.
But okay, but Evan, here's something. Purdy?
Pickett played 3. Okay.
Yeah, but here's something to look at, okay? I just found this list. Current starters in the NFL who became starters their rookie year.
Just want everyone to know Rich has been having internet problems at his house all day.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like he's frozen.
Same here.
So I don't know what list he was on. Oh, there he is. He's back. Rich, you were frozen.
Well, where did I leave off?
We didn't hear any of it.
Quarterback.
You were
okay. These quarterbacks. These are all quarterbacks, current starters in the NFL that were starters their rookie year. Okay. Lamar, Burrow, Allen, Prescott, Herbert, CJ, Prince Lawrence, Tua, Stafford, Purdy, Kyler, and Russell Wilson. Those guys all started their rookie year, and they did just fine. There's a bunch of guys
But
again.
how many
like we were
games
just
did they
talking
play in
about.
college?
Lamar came out early.
All those,
Burrow only
right? But he
started
played
one
3
season,
years.
2 years.
but he only
2 years.
started 1 year.
2 years.
Right.
He never played at Ohio State.
No, Burrow played in 18 and 19 because he started the Fiesta Bowl against Central Florida.
Dak played a lot in college. Allen played at Wyoming, yeah. Stroud played, 2 years at Alabama?
Ohio State.
Or Ohio State, my bad. 2 years, because once Fields left, he came in.
Yeah, 2
Trevor
years.
played 3 years at Clemson.
Lawrence played, 4 at Clemson? Did Lawrence play 3 or
years.
4 at Clemson?
3 years.
3.
He started as a true freshman, though.
Tua was 2 years at Alabama. Stafford played 2 years at Georgia. No, 3 years at Georgia. Purdy played 4 at Iowa State. Kyler played 2 at Oklahoma. And Russ played 1 at North Carolina State and 1 in Wisconsin.
I thought he played 2 at Wisconsin. I mean, 2 at North Carolina and 1 at Wisconsin.
I think Russ
Was it
played
2 at
3
North
at
Carolina
North
State?
Carolina State and
Evan,
1 in Wisconsin.
Was Baker a starter as a rookie?
No.
Yeah,
he didn't
was.
start the season as a starter.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, he wasn't.
Taylor did.
He was
Tyrod
behind
Taylor
Tyler
started.
Taylor. And Tyler Taylor got hurt, and then Baker finished off the year.
Yes.
Because
No, he got stabbed. That's what, if we're gonna be honest. That's what happened.
No, that's what happened.
Oh,
to
Stabbed
so
by
was-
one of the people in the medical.
Oh, that was the chest thing with the ribs?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got the punctured lung.
I actually had a different take on why he got benched.
Who?
Anthony Richardson. I don't think it was about chopping out, even though I think that was a really bad look. I think it's that he's a first-time head coach, and they haven't had the most consistent health, and the Colts have been kind of a disaster since Peyton Manning left, especially at quarterback. And I think everyone's kind of seeing the writing on the wall with the Jets, and now even with the Raiders, where they kind of forced Antonio Pierce to be the coach by saying they would be wanting to be traded if they didn't get him, and now they're kind of regretting it. And so I think this is not so much about what Anthony Richardson is lacking or what he did in the field. I think this is about keeping this team together, because I think they're 4-2 right now.
4.
So they're 4-4. So they're not like exactly out of the race yet. They were even in the race last year with Minshew, where they were just like one game out of making the playoffs. So I think it's more trying to keep the team together and not have them fractured the way certain teams are being fractured right now because of their polarizing quarterback issues.
That's a good point, Melissa. It's about the team too, not just the guy who leads the team. It's about keeping your culture intact too, that you want to try to build.
And I also think that
Actually,
the
wait. I'm sorry, Melissa. I'm sorry. There's
It's
something
okay.
that you just said that made me think of this, about something I was talking about before you came on.
Mhm.
The culture of the quarterbacks, of their marquee or superstar quarterbacks falling apart. I had an argument on this show about the fact that there was a narrative going around that Deshaun Watson was quit on. But then I just spoke about how Jameis Winston was the starting quarterback for all of training camp and for all of practice during the preseason because Deshaun was dealing with an injury. So I definitely agree with that point. But this comes to I would ask this. Do you think the Browns made the mistake that they were trying to avoid when letting Joe Flacco go?
I think the Browns were hoping to have a solid backup plan no matter what happened with Deshaun Watson. I think you guys have learned the very ugliest of ways that you can't trust Deshaun Watson, whether it's through suspensions, his off the field stuff, or his just overall health or play on the field. Not to say that he hasn't had flashes, but you guys can't waste Myles Garrett's best years on flashes.
Put
And
that bullshit ass jersey now.
and I think you guys
Man,
are.
calm down over there.
I think you guys were looking for hopefully not just a 1 year rental as a backup. Like you guys had Tyrod Taylor, you had RG3 for a while, you guys had all these other quarterbacks kind of bounce through and really never stay healthy. And so maybe you thought between the age thing and the way he performed in the playoffs, or whatever the reason is that you moved on from Flacco, I think you were hoping that Jameis Winston wouldn't be like, another guy that's going to fall off. Like he can't stay healthy. He can't lead your team. He can't be more stable. Because you guys went through for what, 5 quarterbacks last year before Flacco, or like
He's a leader.
before
Melissa.
Flacco?
He's
Like
a hype man. Have you seen his pregame?
no. I understand where you're coming from, but I think the Browns. But you guys went through more quarterbacks than we did the year that we lost to the Eagles in the championship game. Like it was some crazy number.
So it was
5,
4
yes.
quarterbacks, and then we
4.
played. It was 4. No, it was 4. We just played a guy in the last week of the season because we didn't want Flacco to get hurt because we had made the playoffs. So
Okay,
technically, we really only went through 4 quarterbacks.
Okay, so you were right around the Niners. I think you guys wanted a younger, healthier, more dynamic option to be your backup, and there's no faulting that. The Jets moved on from Joe Flacco. They didn't think that they would have the issues they had, and then he came to you guys, and he was like a lifesaver. And then all the Jet fans were like, "Oh, the Browns hosed us," and it's just like he was sitting on his couch. It happens. Like Ryan Fitzpatrick at the end of his career was bouncing around everywhere, and sometimes he looked like Fitzmagic, and then sometimes he looked awful. So I don't really fault the Browns on moving on from him, but I do think too much is made of these quarterbacks and how they perform right away. And I think if anyone is kind of regretting how they mishandled their operation right now, it's the Patriots, because they said they didn't trust their offensive line. They said that the best option was Jacoby Brissett. They decided to put in Drake May to try to, I guess, shore up the fan base. I know he had like a injury or whatever. But then he gets knocked out versus the Jets. Now he has a concussion. I don't know how severe it is, but I think that a lot of teams just don't know how to handle these quarterbacks.
Yes.
And it goes back to something that we were talking about a couple weeks ago that I brought up. A lot of these teams are drafting quarterbacks not built for their system.
Yes.
They think that because they're the quote best player available, that they can just plug them in and they'll automatically fall into this system. When a lot of cases, this quarterback may be a lower rated quarterback, but he's a better fit for that offense than the guy that's 2 or 3 levels ahead of him and has never played in that type of system before. So if you're not going to give them some sort of a learning curve or a margin for error, then you got to go with drafting a guy that's built for your system. That's where I think a lot of the problem comes in.
So should these coaches see if the team could adjust to how they played in college? Because I think wide receivers would adjust to that better than a quarterback coming into a team he has no idea about. Should the system change?
It's a lot like
No.
a pitcher and catcher. It's a lot like a pitcher and catcher in baseball.
Number pitcher and catcher. Evan, you were saying no.
So I would say
Sorry.
no, because if you look at you're good. I'll let you go after this, but
Okay.
I would
Okay.
say no to making the change of the playbook or the scheme, because if you look at it, what the Chiefs are running in in Kansas City versus what for Patrick Mahomes when he started versus what the Cardinals did for Kyler Murray is two total different outcomes. But if you had taken Kyler Murray and put him in a shotgun offense, or he was drafted by a team who ran something similar of a shotgun style, you'd have more success. So it goes back to what Rich is saying. It's more about drafting the guy who fits what you're doing versus picking the tier of talent.
But
No,
if
my
you
question
look at
was-
what,
My question
but if you
was,
look at what Kingsbury ran at Texas Tech, it's the same system that Kyler should have fit right into. The system that
Right,
Cliff
but his
Kingsbury
team
ran at
didn't. But
Texas
his team
Tech.
didn't have that system yet.
Can I just bump in real quick as a fan of the NFC West? Kyler
Go.
Murray is not the best example for this topic because Kyler Murray used to just take his playbook, throw it in his trunk, and just walk off and go play video games. He didn't study the
He
playbook.
said the same thing about Baker.
He's admitted that. He said he didn't take the job seriously, that him and Cliff Kingsbury weren't on the same pages. It took him getting in trouble and seeing his coach fired for him to start taking things seriously. Because there was a very specific reason why they put that clause in about how much time that he had to watch film and not just leave his device sitting next to him and let it run. Like,
that wasn't my question, though, guy. My question was, if they see a quarterback one way,
yeah.
would it be easier to change the playbook for the wide receivers and tight ends to adjust to a new system than a quarterback adjusting to different system what he's being brought into?
No.
Well, and that's
because-
before my internet went haywire. That's what I was talking about. Using the baseball analogy, it's easier for a pitcher to adjust to a catcher than a catcher to adjust to a pitcher. It's easier for a wide receiver to adjust to a new system than it is for a quarterback because the receiver, there's only so many things a wide receiver has to do. Whereas the quarterback is leading the offense, calling plays, making line assignments, all these other different things. So that's that catcher role. He's calling the game. He's calling the pitches. He has to know what the pitcher's more effective with, less effective with, where his sweet spot is with his pitches and all that kind of thing. That's why I say it's harder for a quarterback to adjust to a system than for a receiver to adjust to a system that the quarterback is already there. That's why you see the success from receivers a lot of times faster than the quarterbacks.
And speaking of receivers, I mean, seemingly the top three AFC teams have all got a receiver. The Bills added Amari Cooper, the Chiefs added DeAndre Hopkins, and today the Ravens got Deontay Johnson from the Carolina Panthers. First off,
the Ravens agree when the Steelers have a better record.
So what? The Steelers haven't played anybody in the AFC North yet.
You said top three. Steelers have a better record, so that technically puts them above the Ravens.
Yeah.
So to Adam's point about switching it to the quarterback strengths, I think that's actually harder for the team than it is to try to teach a quarterback your system. As a fan of someone who's been through 7, 8 quarterbacks since the Shanahan era started here, I think it throws everything off. It throws off the offensive line. It throws off their timing, how they expect to hold and block and everything. And, as a fan of George Kittle, it's hard to see him have to go through quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, not just every other year or 3 or 4 in a year. I think the hardest thing that you can do is look other guys in the eye and say, well, this guy's getting paid all this money. We're going to change for him and what he does best. And constantly have that altered every time that you go through these different quarterbacks. I think the team should be way more selective about what the guy's capable of before bringing him in and not try to force something out of nothing, because I think too often these guys are like WWE scouts where they fall in love with the body type. Look how strong his arm is. Look at how big he is. Look at how tough he is. And there's so much more to a quarterback than his physical attributes, and I think that's what's getting lost here.
And
The
I'm gonna
comment that
call
you
it
made
timeout.
earlier is
I'm gonna let you guys talk. I'm gonna head out. So
Bye,
Joe,
Joe.
we didn't
appreciate you
Joe.
having me
hear
on.
much tonight, buddy, but we started late, so that was
I
my that was my
apologize.
fault.
No, it's totally
Joe,
okay. I tried to hang in there. I'm at my witching hour here.
yeah, you
Good luck to your
Lamar.
Bills from here on out, except for
Yes,
the
thank
Niners
you.
week.
I'm sure we'll talk soon before
I'm
that.
sorry.
Except for
I'm rooting
Niner
against
week.
the Bills for the rest of the year.
Hey, that's totally okay. But
Joe, how
but again,
people
always
get you,
good.
man?
I'm going to try to listen to you guys as long as I can before I conk out here.
How
So
people get you, Joe?
Happy
they can
Halloween,
see me
Joe.
on Joe
Yeah,
Dale
happy
Sports
Halloween, Joe.
on Twitter,
Oh,
and happy Halloween to you guys as well. All right, we'll talk
It's
to
my
you soon.
birthday Friday.
Well, feliz cumpleaños to you as well.
Happy early
I'm a
birthday,
Spanish
Evan.
speaker.
Thank you.
November 1st, baby, huh, Evan?
All right, I'll
Yep,
talk to you
my
guys
mama
soon.
helped me in, so I
See
wouldn't
you,
be
Joe.
born on November. I mean,
All
on
right, Joe.
December Halloween. But
Um,
that's why I brought up
that is-
Kyler Murray. That's exactly why I brought up. Dylan, I'm about to let you go, but that's why I brought up Kyler Murray, because they drafted him and then they went and got Cliff Kingsbury and they changed their entire success of the things that they did have that worked to fit him, and now they're trying to draft guys and draft pieces to fit around him, and it's too late.
yeah,
He's already a ruined product.
but Evan, the Ravens moved off a Super Bowl MVP in Joe Flacco for Lamar Jackson and designed the whole offense around Lamar. The Bills did the same thing with Josh Allen. The Chiefs have
Disagree.
done the same thing with Patrick Mahomes.
Disagree. The reason I disagree is more about the Josh Allen part, but I'll let Jamie take care of that. I semi agree with the Ravens part, but let's be honest, what did they do that's any different from Joe Flacco? They still run the ball. They still do a lot of play action. They rely on their defense. So what was really different?
They changed the entire Ravens roster because of Lamar Jackson.
Yes, but they gave
I mean-
themselves time versus what Kyler Murray did.
No, I understand that, but you remember there was a lot of debate about receivers not wanting to go there because they thought they weren't going to be featured enough because Lamar was just more running at the beginning than throwing, and they had to get a hit like him certain tight ends, and they had to kind of change their philosophy. Now I'm saying that it's worked for them, but at the time they absolutely appealed everything for Lamar. And I think that's the problem with that kind of situation where people don't have patience for that. Like, if you want a superstar quarterback, you gotta kind of change for them. And that's not always easy because fans are impatient.
Go ahead, Rich.
Melissa, I hate to interrupt, guys, but as you can tell, my internet's acting all kind of cattywampus and that. I'm gonna go ahead and fly. I got a 6:00 appointment in the morning anyway, so
Can I
I
get
gotta
one
hit the road
question out of
running.
you before you go, Rich?
Sure.
All right, I'm just gonna have to do this question now. I got in an argument at my job.
Again,
Yes,
you are good at this.
yes,
are good
I'm
at
great at this. I'm great at it. If I could get on first take, my career will be set. The argument was about Russell Wilson,
Okay.
saying that the Steelers are going to give him a 3-4 year contract worth 10 to 12 million a year if he continues to play well for the rest of the year. But the argument came when I said that he disagreed because I disagreed because he compared him to Aaron Rodgers for prime versus prime, and I said that that was absolutely asinine. So here's the question: for Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson's era, do you have either one of them in your top 5? The quarterbacks are Drew Brees.
What time frame, Evan? What years? What was his prime? Because are we going with Super Bowl champions prime times?
For
We
I'm
going
saying
with
okay, for the two of them, it would be from the time they started with the Packers or Seahawks until they ended, because that's really where their primes were for those two teams. But the question becomes:
Sorry about
you
that.
got
Sorry
you
about
got you got Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, and Russ. I got Ben
that. What?
Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, and Peyton as my top three, and then Rodgers at 4. Do you have him in your top 5?
Yeah.
Because I don't have Russ over Drew
Yeah.
Brees or Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger is my 5th.
Say that. Wait a minute. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Everyone.
So
What was-
if you're counting from the eras and you're where their era would be, it would be the time they started to the time they ended with the team they won the Super Bowl with. In that time, you have Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, Aaron Rodgers,
Sorry.
and Russ.
Sorry, guys. My and the bad part is my wife's working, so she can't reset the router without messing what she's working on. I'm sorry, guys.
Wait a minute.
Do I
Evan,
have Aaron Rodgers in that top 5? Yes.
Do you have Russ?
No.
I
Top
don't.
5? No. No. Breeze would be my number 5 in that bunch.
I'll tell you what.
Would
Patrick
Russ
Mahomes
be-
has got a compelling case to be number 2 on
So
the
it
list
would be
right now.
it would be that guy you hate first, right, Rich?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right.
I hate to say it. I hate to say it.
I
But
honestly think Peyton Manning was a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
thank you. Because my list was Peyton Manning. In order was Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers.
What are you drinking, Evan? Ben
I'm
Roethlisberger wasn't
with
even
you.
the best quarterback from the 04 class.
Where
I'm
do you
with
ta-
you, except for the last 2. I would flip the last 2.
Do
I'd have Rodgers ahead of Breeze, but that's it. Simply on
that's
the
fair.
MVP.
That's fair.
I
But
don't-
you're gonna sit here and say Ben isn't the best quarterback of his class?
I mean, the first Super Bowl, in the first Super Bowl, the best throw in the game came from Antoine Randall.
It don't matter. Who's the better quarterback in the class?
Eli?
Stop
No.
it. Stop it. Eli couldn't
No.
touch Ben Roethlisberger. You could put Ben Roethlisberger in New York and they win those championships. You could put you put Eli in Pittsburgh, they don't win.
Wait a minute. So
Eli won with great defenses, and he won with really good running games.
wait a minute.
And
He had,
that's
he
not-
was
did not.
a pretty good wide receiver too in one of those championship wins.
Wait, so
He did.
Eli Manning beat Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls. Ben
His
Roethlisberger-
defense beat Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Steve Spagnuolo beat Tom Brady in those 2 Super Bowls. The defensive coordinator, probably one of the greatest gameplay plans in Super Bowl
I
history.
don't ever want to hear the Spag's name right now. I need
He's
time
right.
away from Spags.
Jamie's right.
Guys are great. That guy should be in the Hall of Fame for defensive coordinators, Spagnuolo.
like Dave Duncan for pitching coaches, right?
Kinda,
I
yeah.
don't
call him
think-
Steve Swagnolo.
I don't think
But-
that Evan wants to hear my list because my
Go
list is
ahead.
a little
Go
fucked
ahead.
up.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're just going from like what the early 2000s on.
Early
Yeah.
2000s to like early
Okay.
20, like late teens.
So for me, then in that generation, I agree with you. Peyton Manning's the best one, and a lot of people give him crap about his postseason success or whatever. But the guy went to 4 Super Bowls and won 2 of them.
Tom
You know,
Brady went to 10.
Can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tom Brady, a lot of that early success was on Adam Vinatieri's leg and that defense. It took him a long time to become the head, the master, the guy. This whole thing of being the dude, the reason why they were succeeding, not just regular season, postseason, and Super Bowls, but he had his hand held for a long time, and no one wants to call that because no one wants to diminish that. So Peyton didn't have that same thing, and that is why for me, Peyton Manning deserves the top spot in that generation. That's not to take away from what Brady did because Brady brought a championship back to the Buccaneers, and everything else. But Peyton was that first guy that went to 2 different teams, got them to 2 Super Bowls each, lost one, won one. So for me, he goes first. And then afterwards, I think I would have to go, because we're just doing Super Bowl winners, right?
No, just those guys in that time span.
All right. So then, for a while, I think I would go with I would go with Tom Brady at 2. I don't really want to, but you can't deny what he did. Big Ben I would put at 3. Just because I think what hurt me with Big Ben was that I want to put him at 2, but then I remember all that stuff at the end of his career, where he was fighting with the other Bs, and he didn't want to kind of give credit to what Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown were doing for the Steelers, and they had all that tumultuous thing between the 3 Bs. And I think him refusing to retire earlier kind of spoiled things for me, where how they were that bad at the end. So it's not that I don't want to give Ben more credit for his on the field stuff. It's just, I don't know. Big Ben would be 3 for me. I don't have Russell Wilson on my list. To be honest, you saw what happened when they trusted him in the one they lost to the Patriots. He threw the interception. He tried to make it about himself, and ever since then,
that was Pete Carroll's bad play call there.
No, I'm agreeing with you, but
that was a bad.
Russell Wilson just has been living off of what that defense was.
Exactly.
They were this beyond dominant, in your face, getting away with holding calls, and just this powerhouse defense that just took over for a while.
Right.
Just like Strahan after Tom Coughlin fired Tiki Barber. That giant defense was just dominant.
Melissa, what's number 4?
Number 4, I think I would have to give it to. This is hard.
Big and bad game.
I really liked Phillip Rivers. I know he didn't win anything, but I think he's kind of underrated in the class of quarterbacks in that time. And then number 5, I guess I would go with. I really liked Andrew Luck.
He didn't do anything.
I don't know. I don't like Drew Brees. I don't trust Drew Brees. I think him and Aaron Rodgers was the same issue for me. They were kind of obsessed with their own stats and breaking records and making history for all the wrong reasons. And there was this time where Drew Brees, I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but Ahmad Brooks was coming for him, and Brees slid into his arm and made it like the Niners were trying to be so dirty and trying to decapitate him. And I felt like Brees, once he got his Super Bowl, he kind of just coasted on that. Like there was no more like team fire, and it was the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers purposely would not try to win games because he was trying not to get turnovers. He was trying to be like the antithesis of Brett Favre, where Favre just wanted to win and be a gunslinger and take chances and live the moment, and Aaron Rodgers wanted to be like the statistical machine. And so I kind of can't respect the two of them that way. And I lived with my father being a Giants fan, so I can't really say Eli Manning is a great quarterback. He had 2 magical runs, and he did the impossible for what seemed like forever. No one beating Brady in a championship, but I don't know. I just like we keep talking about how great this time for quarterbacks has been, and it's just I feel like there's only like really 3 or 4 guys at bare minimum that's like really outstanding.
Jamie,
Well,
what's your
apparently
ranking?
my list is way different than your list, is because I've got Brady 1, I've got
Mhm.
Mahomes 2.
Mahomes wasn't in that time period.
I'm making
I
an
mean,
exception.
okay, so then if you want to put Mahomes, then I would put Mahomes at 2, right behind Peyton Manning.
Pat Mahomes wasn't part of this conversation.
And then I would have Peyton 3. I'd have, I'm thinking, probably Breeze 4 and Eli 5. Not even.
I think I'd go Manning 1, Peyton Manning.
Why do you
Tom
guys
Brady.
all have Peyton Manning 1? Tom Brady went to 10 Super Bowls.
Brady won 7 championships. He won 3 games. His first three-peat in New England was all defense, and his last championship in Tampa Bay, as good as he was, that was on the defense.
Wait
See,
a minute.
I kind of give him the Tampa one.
I don't, because if the defense let's I'll ask this: if the defense didn't show up in that Tampa game, and Patrick Mahomes was able to be Patrick Mahomes, you think the Buccaneers still win?
Is it Peyton?
I think that was a very flawed Chiefs team.
Tom Brady 2. I've got let's Big Ben 3. Philip Rivers 4. And then let me see 5. Let's see. Donovan McNabb.
Oof.
What the?
Oof. I mean, he does have an interesting resume.
Can I answer Evan real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, so if I was going to give Brady credit for Super Bowl, it would be the Seahawks, the Falcons, and the Chiefs. And I say that because
He still had
I
to
don't
lead
think
the
that he was
the even if
leading force in that one
Brady still had to get them in place to get there.
with the Buccaneers, but I think the way he used Scotty Miller, the way he elevated that team, the way that he changed that team, I think he deserves credit for that. Not taking anything away from the defense, but I think those were his 3 best Super Bowl wins. When he beat the Rams the second time, wasn't it Gronk to Edelman? So he didn't even have a touchdown in that game. And then the first 3, I felt like were way more on the defensive unitary than on Brady.
So if that's the case, then why do you not give the defense credit against Tampa Bay?
I'm not saying that they don't deserve credit because I love Jason Pierre-Paul. I rooted for Jason Pierre-Paul to get a second ring away from the Giants.
Yeah.
Like I think they did him so dirty. But I don't think that even with Mahomes being limited because of his offensive line and all the other issues that were going on with the Chiefs, if Tom Brady didn't step up in the Super Bowl, even with the defense being that dominant, they still would have lost. And I've lost what 3 Super Bowls recently because the defense couldn't just hold it on by themselves. Like you have to have some kind of offense to punch back. So like I said, that one's a little tied for me, but the other 2 were definitely on Brady, which is the Seahawks and the Falcons. And that's why I don't have him at number one, because I don't think that that's above what Peyton Manning did.
I think we'll have to agree to disagree and have that on another.
Okay, now you got me steaming now.
Go ahead.
So, by the way, Andrew Luck's the only quarterback to beat Peyton. Andrew Luck won more playoff games in Denver than Tom Brady did.
What?
Andrew Luck won more playoff games in Denver than Tom Brady did.
Tom Brady never played in Denver.
Yeah, he did. He played a division round and a couple of championship games and lost all three. Andrew Luck beat Peyton Manning the year between the Broncos Super Bowl appearances.
I gotta look that up.
Because after the game, John Fox resigned, and then the Broncos ended up in big player the next year.
Can I just say, I appreciate no one said Cam Newton or Tim Tebow or something ridiculous.
Tebow beat the Steelers in the playoff game. And everyone yelled at him for taking a knee.
Tebow! No!
Denver.
That was a hell of a pass to Demarius Thomas. That was good.
Tom Brady beat Denver in 2012.
No, he didn't. That was the regular season. No, in Denver, not
in Denver. Okay, he lost in 06. He only played Denver twice in the playoffs.
No, he played 3 times.
I'm looking at it right now.
Then 2013 AFC Championship, 2013 AFC Championship.
Okay, the first one that I see on this is 2006. The next Denver game was 2012.
You must be looking at a different Bubba.
I'm looking at StatMuse. Every single year. Tom Brady has a 35-13 record in the playoffs.
I remember there was that one year where they lost to the Chargers and Phillip Rivers.
Wasn't that the year Rivers was ACL and Billy Bullock closed the LCA deal? Okay, I got a better idea. How about everybody gives out their top 10 power rankings?
In the NFL?
Yes.
Jamie, you have Murderer's Row coming up this inning, huh?
Wait, what'd you say?
You have Murderer's Row coming up, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We do. Yep.
By the way, we've got a big stop that last half inning.
What?
Whose volume is too high?
Who's what?
It's y'all don't hear an echo.
I could hear my echo.
I don't know. I got a new because mine broke on the last show. I got a new box. I don't know if you have some buttons here. Am I echoing?
Though I am.
Fix it. I don't hear it, so
If I'm gonna answer this man's question, you said top 10.
power rank.
It'd be Chiefs, Detroit.
Do I sound any better now?
What?
Do I sound any better?
Not really.
Crap.
What?
It'd be Kansas City, Detroit, Houston, Pittsburgh,
Quack.
Buffalo, Minnesota, Baltimore.
Minnesota's kind of falling apart though lately.
It's cold like
Yeah, but I think they figured it out.
Cold like Minnesota. Cold like Minnesota.
And then Washington and Green Bay.
The Green Bay Pack.
Jamie, are you having fun with this?
It's the echo, yeah.
Stop repeating.
Crud. Woo.
I apologize. This
It's okay. Fully he left.
I don't
You
know.
want me to go?
There you go. Maybe. Thought you were shaving or something there. You come back in, you're like, hey, how's it going?
I'm actually
Hello.
Hello.
I'm blocking.
Jamie, what are your power rankings?
For my NFL team.
Darn it.
Let's see. Let's see. Kansas City won. It's either Houston or the Bills, 2 and 3. I'll say. Well, right now I'll say Houston 2, Bills 3. Let's see. Steelers 4. 5. I'm gonna say the Washington Commanders.
Jamie, is that you on Echo?
Yeah, it is.
No, it was me.
No, it's not. It's Jamie. Someone's got the radio up too loud. Everyone
Is love a crime? Okay, so like I said, Kansas City had 5. 6. I'm gonna go with Philadelphia. Let's 6. I said Philadelphia, right? 7. Actually, no. Let's go the Ravens. Philadelphia 7. Detroit 8. Minnesota 9. And Green Bay 10. So there's my top 10.
Yeah, I like the Chiefs, the Bills, the Lions. Gonna go Packers. We're gonna go Steelers at 5. We're gonna go Commanders at 6. Then we'll go Ravens. Texas. Eagles, Falcons.
The Raiders.
Want me to turn up my echo? Echo.
Please no. Please no.
I tried to turn off my echo.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Carissa.
All right, next question, Dylan.
You want my top 10? You want my top 10?
Oh, you didn't go yet? But you did.
No. No.
Go ahead, Melissa. Pop it off.
Okay.
Pop it off.
Okay. I have the Lions at 1. I have Chiefs, unfortunately, at 2.
Love it.
I have the. I want to say the Bills at 3, but you guys make me so freaking nervous every week. Aside from when you face the AFC East.
AFC least.
I want to say Texans at 4,
Fire.
but they just lost a second receiver, so I guess I'll leave them at 4 for now.
They can move down
Good.
next week.
Good.
I have the Commanders at 5.
Just like I do.
I have the Steelers at 6.
Okay.
I have the Eagles at 10.
Wait,
Two.
skip 7, 8, 9.
I'm still trying to figure that out. I guess the Packers at 9.
Oof.
The Ravens at 8. And this one's going to shock you. I have the Broncos at 7.
Nice.
I almost wanted to put the Falcons in the top 10, but it's still Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in that division.
I'm not saying it's not. It's just every time you think that they can handle it, they fall apart.
He's better than your quarterback.
Yeah.
That's not saying much for my team right now.
You said who is better than who?
Wait, Dylan.
You said Kirk Cousins is better than Brock Purdy.
I'm getting off. Because I hate the 49ers. But it's out of love. But I love Kirk Cousins. But I'm not gonna let you do that.
Evan, you destroyed us. Like, you destroyed the Niners last year. You even said that we should stop using the stereo boombox as our entrance thing because that was your thing now. Like, Brown fans went hard at the Niners last year, and you won. Like, you had to show a little bit.
No.
Didn't the 49ers get hosed in that game with some dog poop calls?
Yeah, too much echo.
Yeah, I'm getting off. Y'all can find me at Tucker Sports by the Lake. I am part of Johnson Parker. I hate this echo. I'm sorry. But I love all these guys in this chat. I love Rich and I love Joe. We got some great things going on
I
here.
love you, Evan.
I love to listen to.
Yeah,
But yeah, this echo is killing me, and I got to get up for work. But I can party. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
You got any shit? Yep.
I will have a show on Sunday.
Sweet.
All right. Peace.
Before games or after?
Can I give out my top 10 rankings? I'm gonna go 10 to 1.
Okay, this is getting out of hand.
Melissa, do you still have the echo on?
Yeah, I still do.
Number 10.
It sounded really dumb.
Number 10. Pittsburgh Steelers. Number 9. Washington Commanders.
Number 9. Beatles. Revolution number 9.
Minnesota Vikings. 7. I've got a surprise for you. The team that's going to win the NFC West. The Los Angeles Rams. 6. Ravens. 5. Philly. 4. No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Bills are 4.
3. Green Bay. 2. Kansas City. And number 1 in the Spunky Power Rankings, Detroit.
Woohoo!
Cheeseheads are way too high.
Of course
Jordan
they're
Love can't
too
stop
high.
throwing interceptions and can't stay healthy.
High wearing cheese on.
But at least you said the Rams and not the Seahawks.
Right?
I respect that.
The Seahawk Tuas.
Anyway, guys, Dylan, do you have more questions for us this evening, sir?
Do you want a trivia question?
Sure, why not? We're gonna end this at 1:30 though, just to let everyone know.
How fast is this a trivia question? How fast do you run a 5K?
Who? Dude, I can't run for shit.
Except you're running from the cops.
No, I really can't. Like, I fucked up my leg. Imagine I could run if I really had to, but the pain after that is going to fucking kill me.
I've done a 5K 26:40.
Excellent. I'm not a runner.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Oh,
Yes, honey.
I wanted to ask Adam how he feels about Mike Tomlin putting his foot down and keeping Russell Wilson at quarterback.
I like we said before the show started, and he bailed.
I wanted to ask because you've had issues with Tomlin in the past.
I still have issues with Tomlin. I don't know. This is the cheesy part of our schedule. The back 9 of this schedule is going to be the real test.
But you own the Bengals.
Once we hit the Commanders, that's when this back 9 is really going to start. We're going to see what this team's really made of.
But you guys own the Bengals.
Doesn't matter. The back half of this schedule is where we're really going to see what these Steelers are made of. You got to remember, they went 13-0. Then the Bills walked in and laid a smackdown to them in Orchard Park, and then they just fell apart from that moment on in 19.
I thought you guys were like 11-0 until you lost to the Commanders.
No, it was 11-0. They lost to the Bills.
I thought we were 13-0. See, I don't even know. I just know the Bills laid a smackdown on us, and
But that's if you had Big Ben, who was aging. Now you got
right,
Wilson,
Jamie. But we were 11, and you said we were 11-0 and rolling, and then all of a sudden, like, you guys put a smackdown on us, and the beating just started.
I think you got a better team.
We did not rebound well after that loss.
Were you 11-0 in 2020 where you lost to the Commanders?
No, this was the Bills 11-0 in 2020.
No, I meant like the year after.
Yeah, I think it was.
So I remember it was two Pennsylvania teams. They were 11-0. Pretty sure they were like the last undefeated team. And then the Commanders came in and beat both teams.
Yeah. What do you guys think we should call this a wrap or what?
Let's check it out. Yeah, we lost to Washington, Buffalo, and Cincinnati. Then we won at Indy and lost in Cleveland to end the year at 12-4. We won the division, and then we played one game on January 10th against Cleveland and lost in the playoffs. Remember, Tomlin is also 1-9 since the Super Bowl loss.
I know how you are in the playoffs.
We're absolutely disastrous.
Hey, you want to hear something crazy that might make you laugh?
Shoot it.
I have this librarian at my local library, and he was this big Saquon fan, and he was kind of pissed off the way the Giants have been the last couple of years. So he decided in the off season he was switching allegiances, and he became a Steelers fan.
I figured we would have followed Saquon and went to.
No, he chose you guys because he wanted Tomlin and the stability of the Steelers.
Hey, a lot of people like Tomlin. A lot of people like Tomlin. A lot of the national media likes Tomlin. You know he's not going to be playing deep and getting the Steelers number 7 anytime soon. So that's why the media loves this guy. The regular season, we can talk all the good shit on him. All the goods, all the big empty trophy cases.
Yes, I know you feel like he's the Dak Prescott of head coaches.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, well, regular season's pretty well. Postseason awful.
Regular season, he's like Lamar, Ferrari. And then in the postseason, he turns into a little Geo track.
See, I avoided Lamar because I was going to start the whole Steelers versus Ravens nonsense.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of parity this year, Adam. If you get in, I think play your Steelers format. I think you can do it.
We're still echoing, guys. Someone is echoing, according to Spunky, who's watching us.
It's hard to win it today. There's more parity in the athletes. That's just reality.
I get it. But anyway, guys, how do people get a hold of you? I guess we'll go with Melissa first, because Jamie decided to stand up.
You can find me at NJ49IZZY. I do a weekly show on my friend David McNair's channel called I think it's just called David McNair. The show itself is called Corey Lockdown. It's in honor of Corey Davis, who passed away last year. So it's like a pick'em show. It's a kind of overall all NFL thing that we do every Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm glad to be on with you guys again. So thank you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Jamie?
You guys can follow me at Bill's Chat 1 at Bill's Mafia Chat, and also David Lloyd, the unbiased journalist at DJ Dog Tags on X, and at theforkball.com, where I write about multiple different sports And then you guys can also follow me here on Driving to the Top Productions every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. Joe and I do our podcast for the Bubble Sports Conversation Room, and then we hop on at 9 o'clock here to do open mic. So, for more information on for more content on Driving to the Top Productions, you can visit our Twitter page, our Facebook page, our YouTube, our stream, our Twitch stream, our YouTube channel, Driving the Top Productions, where you consume your podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and ring the bell for notifications. As always, we're driving to the top. See everybody.
And I am at Sports Talking It. You can find me on Twitter on that one. You can also find us on Driving to the Top, as Jamie said, on YouTube. Great content. Everybody, thanks for coming on, and everybody have a